Welcome back. On Tuesday, ahead of the Prime Minister's address, concerned citizen Aaron Alexander called on the authorities to heed the advice and suggestions coming from the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association before more lives are lost.
Concerned citizen Aaron Alexander is siding with the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association for stricter COVID-19 protocols as the country continues to document a record number of COVID-19 cases. Alexander says he is troubled at the rate of community spread and says that if the authorities do not move with haste, the impact on lives will be dire. Last week, the island's Medical and Dental Association called for a number of measures to be implemented, including a judicious shutdown of all but essential services for a period of 2 weeks, as well as the imposition of a curfew between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. Alexander believes that immediate action is necessary.
Remember, livelihoods can be reinvented, changed and modified, but lives lost cannot be replaced. Hence, if left with a choice between the two, let us focus on saving the latter.
He calls on St. Lucians to be alert as he does not want COVID-19 to overshadow the elections which are due this year. He says that the issue of black versus white when it comes to who has better qualities of being a prime minister should never be.
The raging debate of black skin and white skin superiority and inferiority, these issues have been debunked a long time ago. And as a Rastaman, I cannot keep quiet on such an issue. Black people have to remember and black people have to know that over and over in all different fields of professionalism, there is no race, no persons of other skin color which is superior to us. Africa is the cradle of civilization. Black people, we must be proud of ourselves today, tomorrow, and forever. To suggest that a person is more electable because of their whiter skin color, that's garbage talk. This is an insult to our intelligence here in St. Lucia.
He calls on the youth of St. Lucia to take their rightful place and to not be intimidated by what he calls a recent attack on youth organizations. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
The St. Lucia Civil Service Association is calling on its members to safeguard their health and lives during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. A special call has also gone out to employers to prioritize people's lives over their bottom line. CSA President Cyprian Montrop says the CSA Secretariat has been made aware of infected cases within some workplaces in the public service, statutory boards, and other areas which the CSA represents. He says in some instances, workers have not been provided with all required personal and protective equipment required, and some are being asked to work every workday despite the obvious risk to their health and safety.
Of course, we have noticed that in some instances, some of our members have been infected in the public service and private sector, and so we are again calling on our members to play it safe, and also with the shortcomings in what is happening at those workplaces, we are asking the employers to play their part to safeguard the lives of workers. Lives matter to the union because our motto is we have zero tolerance on health, and therefore we always place people first. And so we are asking employers to recognize that their businesses or operations cannot continue without people, and therefore they should place greater emphasis on protecting lives as opposed to the wealth of the business.
In light of the rapid increase in the number of positive cases and the possibility of further deaths, the CSA calls on its members to play their part in containing and reducing the spread and bringing the situation under control. The CSA president stresses that if the current spike in COVID-19 cases is not brought under control quickly, it will have wide-ranging negative effects on the lives of people and on the country. The Med Services has informed that the flooding which took place at Redwi on Saturday is no cause for alarm. The director of Med Services, Andre Joyer, says it was a combination of events which led to the flooding. Genevieve Gonzague tells us more in this report.
The Redwi ramp was submerged with water over the weekend. This raised alarm as there was not a significant amount of rainfall over the weekend. The director of the Met Services, Andre Joyer, explained that this phenomenon was as a result of high tides in addition to a North Atlantic storm.
There's a North Atlantic storm, which is very far from us, but it's generating some very huge sea swells. Now, this is a normal phenomenon. So as those sea swells come closer to us, they reduce in height. So the waves reaching us would be between 4 to 6 feet, right? And this is one component. The second one is that the Atlantic high pressure system is causing some moderate to brisk wind. What this does is that it whips up the sea waves, so you get in a higher height of the waves, what we call the white tops.
He says while the Atlantic weather system will not directly affect St. Lucia, he says these weather systems and after effects are very common.
This is actually a normal phenomena where we get those North Atlantic storms, the high pressure system acting up, and of course we normally have 2 high tides every day. So it's just, how would I put it, hitting the right note and getting all 3 factors in line so that you get a very high tide mark, which is above the usual. But it is not a violent event. It's just a matter of the waves going higher, and you could easily get out of its way.
Okay.
So since the concrete area, it doesn't have anywhere to go, it just flooded the area.
Joye says hurricane systems are also being monitored, as history has proven they can happen at any time.
You could have hurricanes in any month of the year. So even though it's the dry season, we're still keeping an eye out for any weather systems, such as the Christmas Eve trough, and also the formation of a hurricane, because the sea surfaces are already warming up. So it's a matter of keeping an eye out for any weather systems that could affect the island or the region. So we are monitoring.
Joye indicated that this is not the first time that the ramp experienced flooding. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzalez.
This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us. There's more after the break.